आपके मोबाइल फ़ोन के चलते गतिरोध उत्पन्न होता है और कार्यक्रम का लुत्फ़ हम अच्छे ढंग से नहीं उठा पाएंगे। इसलिए मेरा पुनः आप सबों से करबद्ध विनती है, अनुरोध है कि कृपया आप लोग अपने अपने सेल फोन को साइलेंट मोड में डाल दें या स्विच ऑफ कर लें। धन्यवाद।
हेलो 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 हेलो।
Good morning. We welcome all our honorable guests, respected madams, all the learned participants of the event. You are requested to maintain COVID-19 protocol. Please keep your mobile phone on silent mode during the program. The lunch time is scheduled at 2 p.m. The session will resume at 2:45 p.m. and tea break is at 4:15 p.m. After the inaugural session, kindly do not leave the auditorium and be seated for the technical session. Thank you. I request Mr. Subir from NUSRL to come on the dais. We have information that the Honorable Chief Justice of India is arriving in next 5 minutes. Thank you. Dear students of NUSRL Ranchi, kindly be seated.
हेलो 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 हेलो
As we can see on the screen, the traditional welcome is being offered to Honorable the Chief Justice of India. A very warm welcome to our honorable guests. Honorable the Chief Justice of India is going to arrive shortly on the dais. Once the Lordship is in on the dais, I request all the learned participants, all the members in the auditorium to kindly rise and welcome my Lord once the Lord is here. Once my Lord is here. Kindly keep your mobile phone on silent mode, please. A very warm and cheerful morning to all of you. My Sadar Pranam to our most esteemed chief guest of the event, Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Ramanna, Chief Justice of India, cum Patron-in-Chief, NALSA. On behalf of High Court of Jharkhand, in association with Jharkhand State Legal Services Authority, JHALSA, Judicial Academy, Jharkhand, and National University of Study and Research in Law, NUSRL, Ranchi, we most cordially and respectfully welcome Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Ramanna, Chief Justice of India, cum Patron-in-Chief, NALSA. Honorable Mr. Justice Dr. Ravi Ranjan, Chief Justice, High Court of Jharkhand, cum Patron-in-Chief, JHALSA, Judicial Academy, Jharkhand, Chancellor, NUSRL, and the guest of honor, all our respected honorable judges of the High Court of Jharkhand, respected spouse of honorable sitting judges and honorable former judges, esteemed Madam Utpala Sinha, wife of late Justice S.B. Sinha, former Judge, Supreme Court of India, Advocate Indrajit Sinha, High Court of Jharkhand, son of Justice Sinha, and their family members. Learned Advocate General, Professor Dr. K.V. Keshava Rao, Vice Chancellor, NUSRL, respected learned Principal Secretaries and all the respected officers of the state, learned Senior Advocates, Sri Prasanna Surya Devra, learned Registrar, Supreme Court of India, learned Registry members, members of our judicial family, Judicial Academy, learned members of the bar, our esteemed guests of the dais, dear students of NUSRL, online viewers of our webcast, press and media. It is a matter of immense pride and privilege for all of us that to adorn the dais of Judicial Academy, Jharkhand, we have esteemed honorable guests. I, Tanvi, Deputy Secretary, State Court Management System, SCMS Secretariat, High Court of Jharkhand, welcome one and all. Now, as a token of warm welcome and deep appreciation, I request Honorable Mr. Justice Dr. Ravi Ranjan, Chief Justice, High Court of Jharkhand, for presentation of bouquet in honor and gratitude to our chief guest of the event, Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Ramanna, Chief Justice of India. Thank you, my lord. I request Mohammad Shaki, Learned Registrar General, High Court, to present a bouquet to our guest of honor, Honorable Mr. Justice Dr. Ravi Ranjan, Chief Justice, High Court of Jharkhand. Shri Nikesh Kumar Sinha, Learned Registrar Administration, High Court, to present a bouquet to Honorable Mr. Justice Apresh Kumar Singh, Judge, High Court of Jharkhand, cum Executive Chairperson, JHALSA. Shri Santosh Kumar, Member Secretary, JHALSA, to Honorable Mr. Justice S. Chandrasekhar, Judge, High Court of Jharkhand, cum Judge in Charge, Judicial Academy, Jharkhand. Shri Sudhanshu Kumar Shashi, Director, Judicial Academy, Jharkhand, to Honorable Mr. Justice Sujit Narayan Prasad, Judge, High Court of Jharkhand, cum Chairman, Jharkhand State Legal Services Committee, cum Chairman, Executive Committee, Judicial Academy, Jharkhand. I request Shri Sanjay Kumar, Member Secretary, SCMS Secretariat, High Court, to present a bouquet to Honorable Mr. Justice Rangon Mukhopadhyay, Judge, High Court of Jharkhand, and Chancellor's nominee to Executive Council, NUSRL Ranchi. I request Sri Sanjay Kumar Singh, Joint Registrar Judicial High Court, to present a bouquet to Dr. V. Keshava Rao, Vice Chancellor, NUSRL Ranchi. I humbly request Madam Dr. Sunita Roy, wife of His Lordship, Honorable Chief Justice, High Court of Jharkhand, to present a bouquet to Madam Utpala Sinha, wife of late Honorable Mr. Justice S.B. Sinha, former Judge, Supreme Court of India. Thank you, Madam. On this auspicious occasion in the month of Shravan and the blissful arrival of southwest monsoon, I humbly request my lords and learned dignitaries on the dais to step forward for lighting the holy lamp and offer flower petals to the portrait image of late Justice S.B. Sinha to pay tribute to the divine soul of Justice Sinha.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Asato ma Sangamaya, Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Kritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Asatoma Sangamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Kritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Asatoma Sangamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya.
Thank you, my lords. We are very fortunate to witness one of the most memorable events in the history of High Court of Jharkhand. In this year, that is 2022, we are celebrating the Golden Jubilee 50 successful years of the establishment of Circuit Court of Patna High Court at Ranchi. On that note, I seek permission of the Honorable Chair to play a documentary video of High Court of Jharkhand.
Glorious 50 years of development and progress. Memorable 50 years of justice. A circuit bench of Patna High Court was set up in Ranchi in 1972. It has now completed 50 long years. The circuit bench was converted into a permanent bench of Patna High Court in 1976, and later the same permanent bench was elevated into Jharkhand High Court. The new constitution, with its chairman of the drafting committee, Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar, ensured protection of rights of every citizen of the country. It was ensured that every citizen gets equal right and equal opportunity to protect and promote his or her economic and political justice. Every individual experiences the direct and indirect influence of the judicial system in order to make justice effectively available to everyone. Courts have been established in all states across the country. When the circuit bench of Patna High Court was established in 1972, Justice Sarva Mitra Sikri was the Chief Justice of India. On the other hand, Justice Ujjal Narayan Sinha was the Chief Justice of Patna High Court. In 1976, when circuit bench became a permanent bench of Patna High Court, Justice Ajit Nath Ray was the Chief Justice of India and Honorable Justice S.N.P. Singh was the Chief Justice of Patna High Court. Jharkhand High Court is located next to the statues of President of Constituent Assembly and First President of India, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, and maker of the Constitution of India, Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar. In the year 2000, when Jharkhand came into existence, Jharkhand High Court too came into its complete existence and started functioning with 12 honorable judges. Honorable Justice Adarsh Sen Anand was the Chief Justice of India then, and Justice Vinod Kumar Gupta became the first Chief Justice of Jharkhand High Court. In the year 2007, the capacity of Jharkhand High Court was enhanced from 12 to 20, and now it has further been increased to 25. One of the youngest high courts of the country, Jharkhand High Court today has 21 honorable judges. Jharkhand High Court continues to scale new heights year after year under the able leadership and guidance of the Chief Justices. Many honorable judges who served the people of Jharkhand through Jharkhand High Court have served the nation too. Honorable Justice Altamas Kabir became the Chief Justice of India. Honorable Justice P.K. Balasubramanian, Honorable Justice Gyan Sudha Mishra, Honorable Justice S.J. Mukhopadhyay, Honorable Justice M.Y. Iqbal, Honorable Justice R. Bhanumati, and Honorable Justice Anirudh Bose became judges in the Supreme Court of India. On the other hand, Honorable Justice S.J. Mukhopadhyay, Honorable Justice M.Y. Iqbal, Honorable Justice R.R. Prasad, and Honorable Justice Dhirubhai Naranbhai Patel became Chief Justice of different high courts. Jharkhand High Court has been engaged in serving the people of the state by bringing justice to every citizen here, irrespective of color, caste, creed, and sex. After separation from Bihar, there were law and order challenges in Jharkhand. The state was blessed with rich natural resources. It was necessary to organize and ensure order so that economic and political justice was reached to the last man in the society. The administrative and judicial procedures were simplified. Following the directives of the E-committees of the Supreme Court, several facilities have been provided to the people by Jharkhand High Court. These include Justice Clock, E-Seva Kendra, online case filing, online certified copy and SMS facility, etc. In the last 21 years, Jharkhand High Court has been providing justice to every man and woman of the society. The High Court has been scaling new heights under the leadership of Honorable Chief Justice Dr. Ravi Ranjan. Jharkhand High Court is ever eager and determined to maintain secularism, unity, integrity of the nation.
Thank you. The guest of honor, Honorable Mr. Justice Dr. Ravi Ranjan, Chief Justice High Court of Jharkhand, is our true dynamic leader. And under guidance of his lordship, Jharkhand judiciary is earning laurels in the legal fraternity. With quick wit, presence of mind, my lord has won many legal battles with ease while being member of the bar, and on the bench, my lord's compassion, sensitivity, and razor-sharp reasoning has always been an inspiration to youngsters. May I now take this opportunity to invite our chief guest, Honorable Mr. Justice Dr. Ravi Ranjan, for welcome address. Our guest of honor is here.
My Lord, Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Raman, the Chief Justice of India, my esteemed brother, Justice Aparesh Kumar Singh, Justice S. Chandrasekhar, Justice Sujit Nayan Prasad, Justice Rangan Mukhopadhyay on the dais, my esteemed sister and brother judges of the Jharkhand High Court present of the dais, Honorable former judges of the High Court of Jharkhand, Mrs. Utpala Sinha, wife of late Justice S.B. Sinha, and other family members, Professor Dr. K.R. Varukula Rao, Vice Chancellor, NUSRL, Ranchi, Learned Advocate General, and the members of legal fraternity, the secretaries of the state of Jharkhand present here, the Director General of Police, Jharkhand, other officials of the state government present here, the Registrar General and members of Registry, Member Secretary Jhalsa, the Director, Judicial Academy, Jharkhand, other distinguished guests, judicial officers of the Jharkhand, faculty members of students of NUSRL, Ranchi, mediators and participants of today's workshop on mediation, members of print and digital media, ladies and gentlemen. Very good morning to all of you. Friends, I feel very proud and privileged to be part of this august gathering, which has assembled here for the special function being organized by the Jharkhand High Court in association with Jhalsa, the Judicial Academy, Jharkhand, and the National University of Study and Research in Law, Ranchi. I feel deeply honored in welcoming the chief guest of today's function, Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Raman, the Chief Justice of India, here at Ranchi, capital of Jharkhand, and holy land of Baba Baidyanath and Mata Chinnamastika. Our special thanks to my Lord for agreeing to come to Ranchi and agreeing to deliver first Justice S.B. Sinha Memorial Lecture, and also accepting our prayer to inaugurate sub-divisional courts at Chandil and Nagar Utari in the districts of Saraikela, Kharsama, and Garhwa respectively. It's a great coincidence as well as our good fortune that the Golden Jubilee celebrations of establishment of Circuit Bench of Patna High Court has coincided with the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Jharkhand High Court and the subordinate judiciary has wholeheartedly celebrated and participated in this Mahotsav with great enthusiasm. Friends, John C. Maxwell, the famous American author, has rightly said, and I quote, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Unquote. My Lord, Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Raman is a true embodiment of these qualities. Since assuming the highest and most sacred office of the Chief Justice of India on 24th of April 2021, my Lord has steered the ship of Indian judiciary with great acumen, clear-sightedness, astuteness, and by taking path-breaking judicial and administrative decisions. Born to a family of farmers on August 27, 1957, in Punnavaram village, Krishna district of Andhra Pradesh, my Lord is a truly multifaceted personality, having donned many hats in his long and illustrious career. My Lord has been a journalist, a champion of civil liberties, crusader of women's rights, an eminent advocate, a great jurist, and a distinguished judge, which culminated in his taking oath as 48th Chief Justice of India. My Lord has been part of several landmark judgments underscoring constitutional rights, democratic values, and accountability. His Lordship has remained a true champion of women emancipation and other civil rights of weaker section of the society. Similarly, as the Executive Chairman of National Legal Services, as the Patron-in-Chief of the National Legal Services Authority, my Lord had underlined how India had to grapple the twin problem of poverty and access to justice, and therefore called for legal aid for poor, especially women and children. My Lord firmly believes that access to justice for all sections of our society will remain a pipe dream unless the problem of judicial infrastructure, including filling up of judicial vacancies, is not addressed in earnest. Thus, in a revolutionary idea, His Lordship has proposed creation of national and state judicial infrastructure authorities, which is pending at the government level. My Lord's tenure as the Chief Justice of India has created history due to the unprecedented appointment of 9 judges in the apex court, including 3 women judges in one go. The collective leadership skill of my Lord is further highlighted by appointment of hundreds of judges in different high courts, including Jharkhand High Court, and uninterrupted smooth running of courts even during the COVID-19 pandemic. In my opinion, Lordship's personality would be well depicted if I recite few lines from the work Parichay by Rashtra Kavi Ramdhari Singh Dinkar. And I quote, कठिन निर्घोष हूं भीषण अशनि का प्रलय गांडीव की टंकार हूं मैं सुनूं क्या सिंधु में गर्जन तुम्हारा स्वयं युग धर्म की हुंकार हूं मैं. Unquote. Thus, it is most appropriate that the dynamic head of Indian judiciary is going to enlighten us with his wise words in this function, which is being held in the memory of its another illustrious member, late Justice S.B. Sinha. Friends, life of late Justice Sinha can be an ideal example for every advocate, judge, as well as for every student of law. His Lordship can be aptly described not only as a stellar jurist who contributed immensely to the development of law in India, but also as one who was forever a student of law. Late Justice Sinha was widely respected for his legal acumen, scholarly bent of mind, and his affable and humble persona. Justice S.B. Sinha had a profound sense of work ethics, dedication, and sincerity, and the same is exemplified by the mammoth 2,202 judgments he was part of during his tenure as a Supreme Court judge from 3rd of October 2002 to 8th of August 2009. The workaholic judge, known for his instructive dissenting opinions and had unparalleled capacity to work indefatigably. Late Justice Sinha had such an illustrious career as judge that any attempt to summarize the entirety of his Lordship's legacy in a short span of time would be disservice to him. However, we as young lawyers used to call him human dynamo. Few lines from work Urvashi by Rashtra Kavi Ramdhari Singh Dinkar may summarize his personality. And I quote, मर्त्य मानव की विजय का तुर्य हूं मैं, उर्वशी अपने समय का सूर्य हूं मैं. Unquote. We are all proud of the legacy of Justice Sinha, as he not only practiced before the Ranchi bench of Patna High Court, but also served the said High Court as judge from 9th March 1987 to 11th May 1994, if I am correct. I take this opportunity to wholeheartedly welcome Mrs. Utpala Sinha, the wife of late Justice S.B. Sinha. Madam remained a source of strength to Justice Sinha throughout his life, and we are honored that she has agreed to grace this occasion and bless us with her presence. I also welcome the entire family members and all the well-wishers of Justice S.B. Sinha who are present today. Today, in the presence of Honorable the Chief Justice of India, we have got a divine opportunity not only to glorify the wonderful legacy of late Justice S.B. Sinha, but also to celebrate the golden jubilee year of establishment of Circuit Court of Patna High Court at Ranchi, of which late Justice Sinha was an integral part. My Lord, it gives me immense pleasure to inform this gathering of eminent men and women that establishment of Circuit Bench of Patna High Court at Ranchi on 6th March 1972 was a proud and watershed moment in the history of Jharkhand judiciary. And for the common people of Chota Nagpur region of then South Bihar, since then, the Circuit Bench has blossomed into a full-fledged High Court, and this historic journey of the last 50 years is worthy of grand celebration. Being members of Jharkhand Judicial Fraternity, we are all proud of this journey, and it must be celebrated by all of us with great fervor and gaiety and enthusiasm. As a part of this grand celebration, we have organized a series of lectures on varied topics like women's rights, conference on goods and services tax, etc. And today, inauguration of sub-divisional courts at Chandil and Nagar Utari in the districts of Sarai Kharsawa and Garhwa, respectively. Taking the wheels of justice to the far-flung areas and ensuring access to justice for all sections and society is our goal, and these courts in the remotest part of the tribal state of Jharkhand will definitely serve our purpose. My Lord, last couple of years have really been challenging for all of us. The COVID-19 outbreak had a devastating impact on human life, particularly on children who became its worst sufferers. Project Shishu is a unique initiative taken by Jharkhand State Legal Services Authority for the rehabilitation of children orphaned due to COVID-19. Children identified under Project Shishu are given the benefit of a sponsorship scheme, and many of them are present today. I welcome them and wish them good luck and great success in life. I also welcome my sister and brother colleagues of Jharkhand High Court, faculty members and students of NUSRL, members of legal fraternity, and all the distinguished guests present in this august gathering. I also welcome the resource persons and participants for today's conference on mediation. I again thank my Lordship, my Lord, the Chief Justice of India, for taking the time out of his very, very busy schedule and coming to Ranchi to bless us. My Lord's presence is certainly overwhelming, and we all are eagerly looking forward to hear words of wisdom from his Lordship. Thank you all. Jai Hind.
Thank you, my Lord. यथा हेकेन चक्रेण न रथस्य गतिर्भवेत् एवं पुरुषकारेण बिना दैवम न सिद्ध्यति. The above Sanskrit shloka means that just like a chariot cannot move with one wheel, we cannot attain majestic destiny without hard work and effort. In the same way, High Court of Jharkhand has been alive and conscious to the need of litigants in the region and has put sincere and persistent effort for establishment of Sub-Divisional Court of Chandil, District Saraikela Kharsawa, and Sub-Divisional Court of Nagarutari, District Garhwa. And perhaps this is going to change the fate of our people. Now I seek the permission of the Honorable Chair to play a documentary video of Sub-Divisional Court at Chandil.
Saraikela Kharsawa district of Jharkhand shares its border with the state of Odisha and West Bengal. Saraikela as a principality was established by Kuwar Vikram Singh in 1620. Kharsawa likewise was set up by Kuwar Padam Singh in 1650. After the independence of the country in 1947, these principalities were merged with the state of Bihar. On April 1, 2001, Saraikela Kharsawa came into existence as a district in the new state of Jharkhand. Seraikela Kharsawa is the land where popular folk dance Chhau got its birth. The area is blessed with scenic beauty, mesmerizing green hills, rivulets, streams. All these add to the beauty of the place and create a sense of heaven on earth. The place is equally rich in mineral resources. The district is divided into 9 blocks, and Chandal block is one of them. The most enchanting Swanrekha River passes through this block. Chandal became a subdivisional on August 31st, 2003, spread over 1019.23 square kilometers. The subdivision has 4 blocks: Chandal, Ichagar, Nimbi, and Kukru. The 5 police stations, namely Chandal, Chauka, Tiruldi, Ichagar, and Nimbi. Chandal is known for its Dalma Wildlife Sanctuary, Chandal Dam, and Jada Temple. To this list would now be added yet another name: Chandal Subdivision Court. Chandal Subdivisional Court has been created by state government in pursuant to direction of Honorable Jharkhand High Court in writ petition PIL number 3483 of 2009. The 3-story court building houses 10 courtrooms. Each of this is equipped with latest facilities, whereas 36 units of A-type quarters, 48 units of B-type quarters, and 18 units of D-type quarters for judicial officers and court staffs are ready. Court premises is attractive and is enabled with the latest security arrangement. Facilities include lift, police barrack, witnesses shed, DG shed, community hall, etc. There would be 6 judicial officers here, namely 1 additional district and sessions judge, 2 civil judge senior division 1, 1 civil judge junior division, and 2 judicial magistrate cum SDJM. For smooth functioning of the court, 52 regular and 2 contractual posts have been proposed. With full manpower, Chandal Subdivision Court is ready to function in order to meet the judicial issues of the people. It is estimated that around 3,72,633 population would directly benefit from this court. They would not have to go elsewhere now to find justice for the legal issues. This is yet another step taken by the state of Jharkhand towards development. Each citizen will get justice. Each face will now lift up with a smile.
Thank you. Now comes the fortunate moment for which we have assembled. I humbly request Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Ramanna, Chief Justice of India, for online inauguration of Subdivisional Court at Chandal. Through the click of the mouse in Digital India, I request Shri Rajiv Sinha, Central Project Coordinator, High Court, to assist my Lord. Thank you, my Lord, for e-inauguration. We now request and seek permission of my Lord to connect live to the venue. Thank you. Now I seek permission of the Honorable Chair to play video of Subdivisional Court, Nagar Utari, District Garhwa.
one of the 24 districts in Jharkhand. Garhwa district is located on the northwest part of the Jharkhand state. It shares its border with Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and Chhattisgarh. By establishment of subdivisional court at Nagar Utari, the people of the area will get justice at the doorstep. Nagar Utari, also known as Banshidhar Nagar, located around 220 kilometers away from Ranchi, the state capital. From Garhwa district headquarters, the distance of the place is only 36 kilometers. This place is known for Baba Shri Bansidhar Temple and Raja Pahari Mandir, golden idol of Radha Krishna in Baba Shri Bansidhar Temple attracts devotees. On the other hand, Raja Pahari Shiv Mandir is situated at a height of about 980 feet on the top of beautiful hill. There are 7 police stations in Nagarutari subdivision: Nagarutari, Bhavnatpur, Ketar, Ramna, Vishnupur, Krondi, and Durgi. The subdivision has 8 blocks. 7 judicial officers and 63 ministerial staffs would be appointed for this subdivisional court in Nagarutari. Around 1,16,059 people of the area would directly benefit from this court. The court building has been equipped with good facilities, which include latest technologies and foolproof security system. Along with this, a jail building has also been constructed. With the setting up of the Nagar Utari subdivisional court, people compulsion to go to Garhwa for judicial need would come to an end. Justice will be there for all in Jharkhand now.
Thank you. I now request Honorable the Chief Guest to inaugurate the subdivisional court at Nagarutadi, Garhwa, through the click of the button. Thank you, my Lord. I now seek permission to connect live to the event at the venue. Thank you, my Lord. I seek permission live venue. थैंक यू माय लॉर्ड. दोनों न्याय मंडलों के उद्घाटन के लिए धन्यवाद. Under the able guidance of Honorable Mr. Justice S. Chandrasekhar, High Court of Jharkhand, cum Judge in Charge Judicial Academy, our academy has undertaken a study which has now been given the shape of a book. It is a modest attempt to initiate discussion to adopt justice education in the curriculum of law schools, which will focus on attributes required for becoming a judge. I humbly request Honorable the Chief Justice of India to release this book titled Legal Education and Professional Development of Future Judges, Role of Law Schools. Thank you, my lords. Now, with the permission of the Honorable Chair, we begin with the inaugural Justice S.B. Sinha Memorial Lecture. Justice S.B. Sinha left for the heavenly abode on 19th of March 2019, and this lecture is perhaps a very noble way in which NUSRL pays rich tributes to the divine soul of Justice Sinha. We are very fortunate that esteemed Madam Utpala Sinha, wife of late Justice Sinha, has graced this special occasion with her benign presence. We also are thankful to learned advocate Indrajit Sinha, as well as family members who are here with us today. Justice Sinha was amongst those legal luminaries who spoke in a redoubtable manner through his judgments, which has time and again encapsulated the legal position on any point of law with remarkable clarity of thought. Besides, we remember Justice Sinha for always advocating for better utilization of human resources, transparency, judicial impact assessment, filling up of judicial posts, use of information technology, ADR, and many more. Congratulations to NUSRL for this great informative endeavor for students and members of the legal fraternity. Our chief guest of the event, Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Ramanna, Chief Justice of India, come Patron-in-Chief NALSA, needs no introduction. And each one of us present here knows his lordship through his lordship's powerful life-altering judgments. His lordship, instead of importing theories and transplanting concepts, rather encourages to nurture the enterprise of innovative thinking and to create in us a problem-solving approach to embark upon a progressive capital talent. May I now humbly request the fountain of justice and equality, chief guest of the event, Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Ramanna, Chief Justice of India, for Lordship's inaugural address.
Honorable Chief Justice Jharkhand, Dr. Ravi Ranjan, Brother Justice Aparesh Kumar Singh, Brother Justice S. Chandrasekhar, Brother Justice Sujit Narayan Prasad, Brother and Sister Judges of the High Court of Jharkhand, Professor Dr. Keshavra, Vice Chancellor, National University of Study and Research in Law, Ranchi, Madam Utpala Sinha Ji and the other family members of Justice Sinha, Director, Judicial Academy, Jharkhand, members of Jharkhand State Legal Service Authority, Member Secretary of Jharkhand State Legal Service Authority, Land Advocate General Ranjan, law officers and gracious spouses of judges, judicial officers, Registrar General and other registrars of the High Court of Jharkhand, students of National University of Study and Research in Law, Ranchi, media persons, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning to all of you. I congratulate and happy to note that Jharkhand High Court, in celebration of Golden Jubilee of setting of the Circuit Court Bench at Ranchi in the year 1972. As a part of that celebrations, today we inaugurated two subdivisional court at Chandali and Nagar Utari. I congratulate the judiciary of Jharkhand. And it really augment the infrastructure as a part of this Golden Jubilee celebrations. It's a great privilege and honor to deliver the inaugural lecture instituted in the memory of Justice Satyabrat Sinha. Justice Sinha will be remembered as one of the greatest jurists of the Indian judiciary. He made sure that his values were expounded in his judgments. He was a crusader of personal liberty. He enjoyed abundance of goodwill and affection from every member of the bar and the bench. It did not take me very long time to decide on the topic of this lecture, that this life of a judge. It is one topic that Justice Sinha is to discuss very often with his colleagues and his friends. At the end of the Second World War, it was clear for modern democracies that law is not a mere one-way projection of authority. Renowned scholars have therefore argued that a law cannot really be classified as a law unless it imbibes within itself the ideals of justice and equity. Any enactment devoid of the object of substantive fairness can never be justified on the grounds of meeting procedural fairness alone. A judge in a modern democracy cannot be defined as one who merely states the law. A judge holds a unique position in the democratic scheme. Firstly, he bridges the gap between the social reality and law. Secondly, he protects the spirit and the values of the Constitution. It is courts and judges who balance formal democracy with substantive democracy. We are living in a complex society that is always evolving. The transition is driven by knowledge, science, and technology, quality of human resources, and a host of other factors. In ensuring that the transition occurs in a fair and just manner, the role of a person holding a position in the judiciary or governance becomes extremely crucial. It is their decisions at crucial junctures that influence the growth and progress of humanity. Since the themes of today's lecture, life of a judge, I would largely confine myself to the role of a judge in contemporary society. With legal jurisprudence growing leaps and bounds, the role of a judge has undergone sea change in all aspects. Till few decades ago, expectations from a judge were limited to the resolution of a dispute between parties before the courts. Now, every conceivable problem in society is expected to be addressed by the judiciary. People want the judiciary to guide them in every turn of their life. The journey to become a judge is full of aspirations. Till date, practice before the constitutional courts is a dream for many and is accessible to a select few. For a system based on equity, the practice of law in India is yet to enter the domain of equal participation and representation. Access to opportunities, right from legal education to the legal profession, is largely dependent on one's socio-economic conditions. The struggles are multiplied when the person is a first-generation professional. Without a nurturing hand or a support system, legal practitioners belonging to smaller places or disadvantaged socio-economic groups cannot easily find a platform. In the past 7 decades, the process of appointment judges to the constitutional courts has undergone a lot of change. One positive outcome of this is increased inclusivity with persons from deprived backgrounds finding place on the bench. I felt that it may not be inappropriate to refer to my background in this context. I was born in a village from agriculture family. English was introduced when I was in 7th or 8th standard. Passing 10th grade was considered to be a great achievement. After obtaining a BSc degree, encouraged by my father, I finally ended up with a degree in law. I began practice in a magistrate court in Vijayawada for a few months. Once again, encouraged by my father, I moved to Hyderabad to begin my practice in the High Court of Andhra Pradesh. It was definitely a leap of faith for me. By the time I received the offer for judgeship, I had established a good practice. I had appeared from Taluk courts to the Supreme Court in several high-profile matters. I was also appointed as the Additional Advocate General of my state. I was keen on joining active politics, but destiny desired otherwise. The decision to give up something for which I had worked so hard was not easy at all. The journey from the bar to bench is often not natural. Over the years, I had built my career and life around the people. But I knew if one chooses to cross over to the other side of the bar and join the bench, one has to give up all his social connections. For years together, the life of judge is spent in isolation and social alienation. Particularly in a country such as ours, judges are not mere arbiters of justice disputes. They are also administrators of justice. In order to administer justice, the judges must be aware of the social realities and should not be confined as a social recluse. We must understand that impartiality and independence are a state of mind. However, the undeniable fact is that our engagement with society undergoes a drastic change once we take up judgeships. There is a view that a judge should have continued connections with the society, but sections of society have certain perceptions about judges moving around in social circles. The choice is difficult, but I personally believe that one must remain connected with the society and be aware of social realities and the problems of the people. Now, most of the judges of the constitutional courts begin their judicial career from their successful legal careers. The most obvious sacrifice is monetary. One must be moved by a spirit of public service to take such a decision. As lawyers, our minds are trained in the pursuit of one-sided arguments. It is the pursuit of justifying one side of a coin. On the other hand, a mind of the judge is trained to appreciate competing claims, to appreciate not just facts and rules, but also equities. As Socrates said long time ago, four things belong to a judge: to listen courteously, to answer wisely, to consider soberly, and to decide impartially. The responsibility of judging is extremely burdensome, owing to the human implications of our rulings. Every litigant enters the courtroom with an expectation of obtaining justice. The burden of sentencing of an accused, deciding the custody of a child, deciding the right of a tenant or a landlord, calculating the value of a human life in an insurance case, they all take a toll on our mental well-being. We spend sleepless nights rethinking our decisions. After all, like all other humans, even judges are fallible. Judges in apex court are entrusted with the task of delivering the final verdict. As it seals the fate of the parties, the stress is much more at the highest level. It is an onerous responsibility which we take extremely seriously. There exists a misconception in the minds of the people that judges stay ultimate comfort, work only from 10 to 4, and enjoy their holidays. Such narrative is untrue. A few months after becoming a judge of the High Court, I got to see Justice Satyabrat Sinha for the first time when he came to Hyderabad as my Chief Justice. It is from Justice Sinha that I have understood that what hard work means. He never took leave from court. Even when on touring during the weekends, he would take along a stenographer in the train or car and dictate judgments. I was deeply influenced by Justice Sinha's work ethic. He was known for his dedication, hard work, patience, and independence. In the process, he neglected his health. He used to warn us as to never follow his way of doing things. Sadly, since I could not put this advice into practice, the result are taking a toll on my physical health. It is not easy to prepare for more than 100 cases every week. Listen to novel arguments, to do independent research, the other judgments, while also dealing with the various administrative duties of a judge, particularly of a senior judge. A person has no connection with the profession cannot even imagine the number of hours that go into preparation. We spend many hours reading the paper books and making notes for matters listed the next day. Preparation for the next day begins soon after the court rises and will go on beyond midnight on most days. We continue to work even during weekends and court holidays to do research and other pending judgments. In this process, we miss out on many joys of our lives. Sometimes we miss out on important family events. At times, I wonder if my grandchildren would recognize me at all after failing to see them for days together. Therefore, when false narratives are created about the supposed easy life led by judges, it is difficult to swallow. People often complain about the long pendency of the cases at all levels of the Indian judicial system. On multiple occasions, I have highlighted the issues leading to the pendencies and backlog. I have been strongly advocating the need to revamp the infrastructure, both physical and personal, to enable the judges to function to their full potential. One of the biggest challenges before the current day judiciary is prioritizing their matters for adjudication. The judges cannot turn a blind eye to the social realities. The judge has to give priority to the pressing matters in order to save the system from avoidable conflicts and burdens. On this occasion, I shall not fail to place on record my worries about the future judiciary in this country. Every case is equally important for a judge. The burden on an already fragile judicial infrastructure is increasing by day. There have been a few knee-jerk reactions in augmenting infrastructure in few places. However, I have not heard of any concrete plan to equip the judiciary to meet the challenges of the foreseeable future, leave alone a long-term vision for the century and the country ahead. Judges and judiciary have no power or authority to introduce a uniform system. The executive also has its own limitations, as it may not be able to appreciate the needs of the judiciary. It is only with the coordinated efforts of the judiciary and the executive that this alarming issue of infrastructure can be addressed. In my opinion, the need of the hour is to initiate a multidisciplinary study where scientific methods can be used to equip our judiciary for the future. With the growth of the economy and population, a sustainable method of dispensation of justice needs to be modeled. The reality, given the current situation, is that we are simply not equipped to handle the rising challenges of the future. If the judiciary suffers, our democracy suffers. This is a serious issue. Doing justice is not an easy responsibility. It is becoming increasingly challenging with each passing day. At times, there were also concerted efforts in media, particularly on the social media against judges. Another aspect which affects the fair functioning and independence of the judiciary is the rising number of media trials. New media tools have enormous amplifying ability, but appears to be incapable of distinguishing between the right and the wrong, the good and the bad, and the real and the fake. Media trials cannot be a guiding factor in deciding cases. Of late, we see the media running kangaroo courts. At times, on issues even experienced judges find it difficulty to decide. Ill-informed and agenda-driven debates on issues involving justice delivery are proving to be detrimental to the health of democracy. Biased views being propagated by media are affecting the people, weakening the democracy and harming the system. In this process, justice delivery gets adversely affected. By overstepping and breaching your responsibilities, you are taking our democracy 2 steps backward. Print media still has certain degree of accountability, whereas electronic media has zero accountability, as what it shows vanishes in the thin air. Still worse in social media. Owing to the frequent transgressions and consequential social unrest, there is growing demand for stricter media regulations and accountability. In fact, looking at recent trends, it is best for the media to self-regulate and measure their words. You should not overstep and invite interference either from the government or from the courts. Judges may not react immediately. Please don't mistake it is to be the weakness of helplessness. When liberties are exercised responsibly within their domains, there will be no necessity of placing reasonable or proportionate external restrictions. I urge upon the media, particularly the electronic and social media, to behave responsibly. You are as important as stakeholders as we are. Please use the power of your voice to educate the people and to energize the nation in our collective endeavor to build a progressive, prosperous, and peaceful India. If we want a vibrant democracy, we need to strengthen our judiciary and empower our judges. These days, we are witnessing increasing number of physical attacks on the judges. Can you imagine a judge who served on the bench for decades, putting hardened criminals behind the bar, once he retires, loses all the protection that came with the tenure? Judges have to live in the same society as the people that have convicted without any security or assurance of safety. Politicians, bureaucrats, police officers, and other public representatives are often provided with security even after their retirement, owing the sensitiveness of their job. Ironically, judges are not extended similar protection. The judges of the constitutional courts enjoy wider discretion while rendering justice, especially in a country as socially diverse as India. Judges must have a very practical approach while laying down the law. They need to be humanistic and compassionate, as their opinions have different impacts on different classes of people. Another aspect behind the idea of discretion to allow the judges to do complete justice in each set of facts and circumstances. To do complete justice, a good judge needs to be aware about the practical outcome of his decisions. Particularly in a common law system where the law progresses with precedents, judges are important stakeholders in shaping the democracies. If the judge's role is confined to adjudicating disputes, if the judge is barred from interpreting the constitution and laws, it would be difficult to imagine the fate of our democracy. One gets to hear that judges, being unelected, should not get into legislative and executive areas. But this ignorance the constitutional responsibility that plays in the judiciary. Judicial review of legislative and executive actions is an integral part of the constitutional scheme. I would go as far as to state that it is the heart and soul of the Indian Constitution. In my humble view, in the absence of judicial review, people's faith in our Constitution would have diminished. The Constitution is ultimately for the people. The judiciary is the organ which breathes life into the Constitution. I am very happy that the institution that I hail from has filled certain gaps in the Constitution in the interest of public at large. It is interpretation by the judiciary that have sustained and reinforced the faith of the people in the republic and the democracy. No doubt, the judiciary holds a special position in our constitutional scheme. The judiciary has, by and large, lived up to the responsibilities entrusted to it by the framers of the Constitution. For our people, it continues to be the most trusted organ of the state. Our experience of past 75 years has proved beyond doubt that the parliamentary democracy is the best suited for a country as diverse and complex India. Only a flourishing and vibrant democracy can lead our country on path of peace, progress, and global leadership. As a strong judiciary is the ultimate guarantee for the rule of law and democracy. Hence, our collective endeavor should be to strengthen the judiciary, which in turn further strengthen our democracy. On a personal note, the opportunity to serve as a judge came with the tremendous challenges, but I have never regretted a single day. It is definitely not a service, but a calling. I conclude this memorial lecture and by paying tributes to Honorable Justice Satyabrat Sinha. May the life and achievements of Justice Sinha inspire generations of young lawyers. Madam Utpala Sinha has been a strong pillar of strength for Justice Sinha and the family. She took a great care of Justice Sinha all through. The credit for her success of their children goes to Madam Utpala. I wish Abhijit, Indrajit, Namnita, and other family members of Justice Sinha. I thank Honorable Chief Justice of Jharkhand, Brother Justice Ravi Ranjan, for honoring me and inviting me for this function. The opportunity to inaugurate the two brand new subdivisional court and complexes at Chandli and Nagar, Ontario. I am happy to note that these court complexes will have 6 and 7 judicial officers respectively and are equipped with state-of-art infrastructure. I hope this brings justice delivery closest to the people in these two subdivisions. I thank Professor Keshav Rao organizing the inaugural and Justice S.B. Sinha Memorial Lecture. I also thank brother and sister judges of the Jharkhand High Court. My best wishes to the children who received the scholarship today under the Project Sishu. My blessings and best wishes to all of you for a successful future. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, my Lord. My Lord has been the powerhouse of knowledge, and Lordship's articulate speech has enlightened us all. Now we proceed towards initiative of Jharkhand State Legal Services Authority, Jhalsa. Children are the supreme assets of a nation, but the pandemic COVID-19 has adversely affected all of us, with children being the worst sufferers, rising to the occasion under the able guidance of Honorable Mr. Justice Apresh Kumar Singh, Executive Chairman, Jhalsa. Jhalsa has worked under the guidance of NALSA Scheme for Children 2015 and pioneered Project Shishu in May 2021. Department of Women and Child, Jharkhand, has also given its support, and we are proud to announce that more than 1,275 children have been rehabilitated under this. In March 2022, Central Coalfield Limited came up with its scholarship scheme for children who have lost single or both parents to the pandemic, and they worked alongside Jhalsa, identified around 180 children, and they were given the scholarships, which ranges from 20,000 to 50,000 per annum for their higher education. We thank Shri MP Prasad, CMD CCL Director, GM CSR for the humanitarian initiative. It gives me immense pride and pleasure to request our Honorable the Chief Guest for distribution of scholarship to the meritorious children. Press and media are requested to protect the identity of children. मैं निवेदन करूंगी कि इन सभी बच्चों को स्टेज पे लाया जाए स्कॉलरशिप लेने हेतु. Such is the compassion of Honorable the Chief Guest that my Lord has come forward to give the children scholarship along with gift hampers, and we wish them all the very best. The little kid smiling under her mask is so happy to receive the scholarship as well as the gift hamper. This will be used for a higher education. All these children are the meritorious children who have been selected. These children are indeed very fortunate to receive blessings directly from the Chief Justice of India. सभी बच्चों से निवेदन है कि एक एक करके आएं और स्कॉलरशिप एवं गिफ्ट हैम्पर को ले जाएं और अपने भविष्य को उज्जवल बनाएं। Our children are the hope of the nation, and today they are receiving this scholarship directly from Honorable the Chief Justice of India. Let's give the children a huge round of applause and wish them all the best for their future. CCL, Jhalsa, Department of Women and Child, all have contributed towards this, and they are very fortunate that they are receiving this scholarship which will be used for their higher education. under Section 12E of the Legal Services Authorities Act makes victims of disaster entitled to legal aid. And Jalsa has risen to this occasion and took this initiative under the Nalsa Scheme for Children 2015 and pioneered Project Shishu in May 2021. Their educational and health status is being monitored regularly on quarterly basis, and none of them have left their studies since June 2021. My Lord, the Honorable Chief Justice of India mentioned in his speech that how happy moments escape from the life of a judge, and we are here to give such happy moments to my lords. Thank you, my Lord. All these children, my Lord, are your grandchildren, and definitely they will remember, my Lord, all their lives and their future generations as well. Now, I would like to request His Lordship, Honorable Mr. Justice Dr. Ravi Ranjan, Chief Justice, High Court of Jharkhand, for presenting memento and shawl in honor and gratitude to the Chief Justice, Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Ramanna, Chief Justice of India, come Patron-in-Chief, Nalsa. Thank you, my Lord. I now request Mohammad Shakir, Learned Registrar General, High Court of Jharkhand. My Lord has been presented with Rudrakshmala here. Thank you, my Lord. I request Mohammad Shakir, Learned Registrar General, High Court, to present a memento and shawl to our guest of honor, Honorable Mr. Justice Dr. Ravi Ranjan, Chief Justice, High Court of Jharkhand. I request Sri Nikesh Kumar Sinha, Learned Registrar Administration. I request Registrar Administration, High Court, to present a memento and shawl to Honorable Mr. Justice Aparesh Kumar Singh, Judge, High Court of Jharkhand. I request Sri Santosh Kumar, Learned Member Secretary, Jhalsa, to present memento and shawl to Honorable Mr. Justice S. Chandrasekhar, Judge, High Court of Jharkhand. I request Sri Sudhanshu Kumar Shashi, Learned Director, Judicial Academy, Jharkhand, to present a memento and shawl to Honorable Mr. Justice Sujit Narayan Prasad, Judge, High Court of Jharkhand, cum Chairman, Executive Committee, Jharkhand Judicial Academy. I request Sri Sanjay Kumar, Learned Member Secretary, SCMS Secretariat, High Court of Jharkhand, to present memento and shawl to Honorable Mr. Justice Rangon Mukhopadhyay, Judge, High Court of Jharkhand. I request Sri Sanjay Kumar Singh, Joint Registrar, Judicial High Court of Jharkhand, to present a memento and shawl to Dr. V. Keshava Rao, Vice Chancellor, NUSRL, Ranchi. I humbly request respected Madam Dr. Sunita Roy, wife of His Lordship, Honorable the Chief Justice, High Court of Jharkhand, to present memento and shawl to Madam Utpala Sinha, wife of late Honorable Justice S.B. Sinha, former Judge, Supreme Court of India. Thank you, Madam. I humbly request Honorable Mr. Justice Rangon Mukhopadhyay to present a memento on behalf of NUSRL to Honorable the Chief Justice of India. Honorable Justice Rangon Mukhopadhyay is Chancellor nominee to the Executive Council NUSRL. Now I request Dr. V. Keshava Rao, Vice Chancellor NUSRL, to present a book publication on behalf of NUSRL to Honorable the Chief Justice of India. Thank you. I thank Honorable our Chief Guest, whose Charan Kamal in Jharkhand will surely be instrumental in progress of Jharkhand judiciary and take the legal fraternity to new heights. I now request everyone present in the auditorium to rise for the national anthem. I apologize. I request Dr. V. Keshava Rao, Vice Chancellor, NUSRL, who has contributed in the field of legal education, to deliver the vote of thanks. The learned audience, kindly be seated. I apologize.
A moment of ecstasy always makes us to forget to follow the schedule. And that is the reason why Madam, in a moment of ecstasy, has slipped through the next item on the agenda. I won't take much time. I'll be just completing my task. I know His Lordship is very eager to leave and then attend other functions. I would only say, my Lord, Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Ramana Garu, Chief Justice of India, my Lord, Mr. Justice Dr. Ravi Ranjan, my Honorable Chancellor and Honorable Chief Justice of High Court of Jharkhand, judges occupying the dais, Honorable Judges of the High Court, both present and past, in the audience, gracious ladies in the audience, government officials, advocates participating in the conference on mediation, senior advocates, my colleagues from National University of Study and Research in Law, dear students, media, both press as well as electronic, family members of Justice S.B. Sinha ji, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all of you. Today we are all very fortunate in listening to a wonderful lecture on the topic Life of a Judge from Honorable the Chief Justice of India himself. May I share a secret with you? Working till 2 o'clock on 22nd of July 2022, getting up at 3:15, getting ready, going all the way to Terminal 3 of airport in Delhi, catching a flight at 5:15, without having the privilege of business class and traveling in economic class, coming here, delivering the lecture to us, inaugurating the courts, distributing the scholarships, blessing the conference on mediation with his benign presence is a classic indication of the life of a judge. Milad, how can we say thanks to you except we say to my Chancellor, Dr. Ravi Ranjan ji, he is there as the backbone for the university. He is guiding us. He is, in fact, sometimes even finding fault with us. And but for him, this lecture would not have been delivered in such a wonderful fashion. I can only say, Milad, you are grateful. And to the other judges, Apresh Kumar ji, Chandrasekhar ji, Sujit Narayan Prasad ji, and my mentor, Rangan Mukhopadhyay ji, I can only say, you have not only contributed your thoughts, you have guided us in ensuring that this function goes on very smoothly. To you and to the other judges from the Jharkhand High Court who are present here, on behalf of all of us, a big thank you. To the former judges that are present here, I can only say, you have brought glory to this meeting by your benign presence. To Madam Utpala Sinha ji, to Sri Abhijit Sinha ji, to Sri Indrajit Sinha ji, and to Mr. Justice Amit Talukdar and Madam Vishnupriya Talukdar, former judge of Calcutta High Court and relatives to Justice S.B. Sinha ji, we not only express our gratitude for initiating the endowment, but also making sure that the first lecture is delivered by none other than the Chief Justice of India himself, and also for your benign presence. Well, I am sure, but for you, this series of lectures would not have commenced at all. We are grateful to you on behalf of all of us, especially the National University of Study and Research in Law. To the Advocate General, to the secretaries of the different departments from the government of Jharkhand present here, and to the other government officials, I can only say you have added glamour to this function. Thank you very much. To all the senior advocates and to other dignitaries like the Vice Chancellors who are present here, we say our gratitude to you. To all the advocates that are going to participate in the conference on mediation, you are very lucky in having the blessing of the Chief Justice of India by his benign presence. And I can only say at this moment, you are going to have very fruitful and useful lessons. I congratulate you on the things that are scheduled to come, and I wish every one of you all the best, and thank you for gracing this occasion. To my students, sir, my students have come to the campus only yesterday. And the only reason, most attractive reason, is the simple fact that I informed them Chief Justice of India will be coming on 23rd. Though the university is scheduled to open on 1st of August, the students have come. And Milord, we have a humble request, two requests to you. Number one, I think this opportunity I may be permitted to take. Number one, we request you to kindly permit us to print the lecture for the benefit of the posterity. And number two, we request you to kindly give us the opportunity of having one photograph with you, if not to the faculty, at least to the students. And dear students, you are very lucky. You are going to have an interaction with our Honorable Chief Justice of India for a few minutes. Don't be over enthusiastic. Conduct yourself well and give a good impression of our university. To the faculty members, thank you very much for your participation here. And to the press, the traditional as well as electronic media, I would only say, please cover us well. Normally, you know, sir, our university never finds a place in the English papers. We always find place in the Hindi papers. But those of you that are covering, please make sure that it is sufficiently covered. Okay. And to everybody else, I would only say, if I left anybody, it's not by intention. It's only accidental. To everyone that is present here to make this function a grand success, I would only say, on behalf of all of us, on behalf of the High Court of Jharkhand, on behalf of the Jalsa, on behalf of the Committee for Legal Services, on behalf of the Judicial Academy, and not least but not the last, NUSRL, I would only say, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. Now I request everyone present in the auditorium to rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
I humbly seek permission of the esteemed Honorable the Chief Guest to conclude the program. Thank you, my Lord. I request all the learned participants to remain seated in the auditorium for technical session on mediation. And I request the Honorable dignitaries to proceed for photography.
आपका एक स्वागत भी
हेलो हेलो हेलो
स्वागतम
हेलो हेलो
वन भव्या शिल्पी साक्षी श्रेया मुस्कान। आप लोग जल्दी शुरू कर दें और बीच में मत छोड़ दें। जंगलों पहाड़ों का सिलसिला देख लो।
स्वागतं 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 शुभ स्वागतं तारे सूरज संग तारे आज शुभ दिन आया रे आज शुभ दिन आया रे स्वागतं 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 शुभ स्वागतं उद्घाटन पावन सावन में न्यायालय के इस आंगन में उद्घाटन पावन सावन में न्यायालय के इस आंगन में सबका धाम हमारे आज शुभ दिन आया रे आज शुभ दिन आया रे आज शुभ दिन आया रे स्वागतं 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 शुभ स्वागतं बहुत दिनों से थी अभिलाषा दर्शन पाने की थी आशा बहुत दिनों से थी अभिलाषा दर्शन पाने की थी आशा स्वागत आज शुभ दिन आया रे आज शुभ दिन आया रे आज शुभ दिन आया रे स्वागतं 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 शुभ स्वागतं श्री बंशीधर की ये नगरी शोभित शिव मैं राजा पहाड़ी श्री बंशीधर की ये नगरी शोभित शिव मैं राजा पहाड़ी सब धाम हमारे रसा आज शुभ दिन आया रे आज शुभ दिन आया रे आज शुभ दिन आया रे स्वागतं 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 शुभ स्वागतं स्वागतं शुभ स्वागतं स्वागतं शुभ स्वागतं
स्टार्ट करें क्या? आपकी आवाज नहीं उधर से आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है। आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है। आपका माइक ऑन नहीं है। पीडीए साहब, आपका माइक ऑन है। हम स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं। अच्छा, एक 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 माइक किसी का ऑन है, उसको ऑफ कर दीजिए। माइक उधर ऑन है तो ऑफ कर दीजिएगा। आप लोग के तरफ। अच्छा, हम स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं। सभी लोगों को मेरा प्रणाम और जोहार। श्री राजेश शरण सिंह जी, पीटीके गढ़वा, श्री रमेश घोलप, डीसी गढ़वा, श्री अंजनी कुमार झा, गढ़वा, श्री ए.के. झा, कमांडर, श्री जी.के. सिन्हा, प्रेसिडेंट बार एसोसिएशन गढ़वा, श्री ब्रजेश चौबे, प्रेसिडेंट बार नगर उंटारी, यहाँ आए हुए सभी वकील, माताएं, भाई बहन, मीडिया और अन्य लोग उपस्थित जो है। अभी अभी आप लोगों ने और हमने नगर उंटारी सब डिविजनल कोर्ट का उद्घाटन ऑनरेबल मिस्टर जस्टिस एन.वी. रमना, चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया के द्वारा इनॉग्रेशन होते हुए देखा। हम चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देते हैं। वी थैंक हिम ट्रेमेंडसली दैट वो अपने बिजी शेड्यूल से इतने कीमती समय छोड़ के यहाँ आए और झारखंड में उपस्थित हुए और इनॉग्रेशन किए इस कोर्ट का, नगर उंटारी का भी और अन्य कामों का। हम आज सुने कि वो कितने 2 बजे ख़त्म किए अपने रात को, फिर थोड़ा सोए और 3:30 बजे। तो वो हमारे लिए उदाहरण है। और हम जानते हैं कि यहाँ के भी जो वकील है, गढ़वा के और झारखंड के भी जजेस जो है, वो भी ऐसे ही काम करते हैं और इसलिए आप पब्लिक का पूरा सपोर्ट है। चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया के अलावा हम लोग ऑनरेबल मिस्टर चीफ जस्टिस डॉक्टर रवि रंजन, चीफ जस्टिस हाई कोर्ट ऑफ झारखंड, ऑनरेबल जस्टिस अपरेश कुमार सिंह एंड ऑनरेबल मिस्टर श्री चंद्रशेखर एंड अन्य हाई कोर्ट के जजेस, सबको हम भी धन्यवाद देते हैं इस प्रोग्राम और सब डिविजनल कोर्ट नगर उंटारी के उद्घाटन में और इसको यहाँ तक, इस सफ़र में यहाँ तक पहुँचाने के लिए। नगर उंटारी सब डिविजनल कोर्ट की उद्घाटन बहुत दिन से पड़ी हुई थी और हम लोग काफ़ी दिन से चाह रहे थे कि ये उद्घाटन हो और हमारे जोनल जजशिप ग्रहण करने के पहले से भी ये तैयारियां बहुत हो चुकी थी, लेकिन किन कारण
नहीं हो पाई थी, बीच में कोरोना हो गया था और हम लोग इसको नहीं कर पाए थे, लेकिन आज हम बहुत खुश है कि हमारे चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया के द्वारा इसकी उद्घाटन हो गई। ये जरूर यहाँ के जुडिशियल ऑफिसर्स गढ़वा, यहाँ के सारे वकील जो हैं गढ़वा के और नगर उंटारी के, यहाँ के लिटिगेंट्स और यहाँ की आम जनता के लिए एक बहुत बड़ा शुभकामना और आशीष का दिन है और आगे वाले दिनों हमको इनकी बहुत फायदा मिलेगी। हम बहुत थैंकफुल है श्री राजेश शरण सिंह पीडीजे गढ़वा, श्री राम बच्चन सिंह प्रिंसिपल जज फैमिली कोर्ट गढ़वा एंड अन्य जजेस गढ़वा के जो इस प्रोग्राम में भी अपना योगदान जरूर दिए होंगे। आई थैंक देम फ्रॉम ऑल सिंसियरिटी in making this program a big success. No doubt हमारे डिप्टी कमिश्नर जी, हमारे एसपी साहब और हमारे कमांडेंट साहब और गढ़वा और नगर उंटारी के अन्य ऑफिसर्स और अन्य लोग भी इस प्रोग्राम को सक्सेस होने में अपना योगदान दिए होंगे। उसके लिए भी मैं अपना धन्यवाद और अप्रिशिएशन आप लोगों की तरफ बढ़ाता हूँ। साथ साथ सभी एडवोकेट्स को भी जो इस प्रोग्राम को सक्सेस बनाए हैं और प्रेसिडेंट्स ऑफ बार एसोसिएशन दोनों गढ़वा और नगर उंटारियों का। आखिरी में मैं बोलना चाहूँगा कि हमारी बहुत इच्छा थी कि मैं गढ़वा और नगर उंटारी में मैं प्रस्तुत हो पाऊं, लेकिन इच्छा चाहते हैं लेकिन कभी कभी कुछ और हो जाता है और कुछ कारणवश हम नहीं फिजिकली नहीं हो पाए। ई कोर्ट से हम लोग प्रस्तुत हो जाते हैं, लेकिन ई कोर्ट व ई वर्चुअल में वो मज़ा नहीं है जो आदमी फिजिकली मिल करके करता है। और ये हमारे पीडीजे साहब से, डीसी साहब, एसपी साहब, कमांडेंट साहब और वकील साहब से वर्चुअली मिलना बहुत ये तो अच्छा नहीं रहा एक तरह से हमारे तरफ से, लेकिन फिर भी हम इस प्रोग्राम का एक अंश हो पाए। मैं आप लोगों को इस समय अपना फिर से कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस देता हूं एंड आई विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट फॉर द फंक्शनिंग ऑफ द कोर्ट एंड फंक्शनिंग ऑफ द इंटायर जजशिप ऑफ गढ़वा। सभी को फिर से धन्यवाद मेरे तरफ से, जोहार और नमस्कार सभी लोगों को। थैंक यू वेरी मच। वो चेक का कुछ बोले थे, चेक का आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है, आपकी आवाज हमारे तरफ नहीं आ रही है, उधर से आवाज नहीं आ रही है, आवाज नहीं आ रही उधर से। अजय 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 ये फोन से लिंकअप कर देना, उनकी आवाज नहीं आ रही। फोन पे कर देना। हाँ फोन पे कर देना। अच्छा अच्छा,
थैंक यू माय लॉर्ड। आवाज आ रही है माय लॉर्ड? लॉर्डशिप
उनकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है, इनका फोन में आ जाएगा शायद। स्पीकर ऑन कर देते हैं, स्पीकर ऑन कर देते। हाँ आपका आवाज नहीं आ रहा था।
हेलो बार वालों का निवेदन है कि जब बार वालों का रिक्वेस्ट है सर कि जब लॉर्डशिप जब भी कंफर्टेबल समझें वो एक बार नगर उटारी कोर्ट जरूर आए। इनका रिक्वेस्ट है सर बार की ओर से, जो मैं कन्वे कर रहा हूँ सर को। जी जी जी। और कुछ चेक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है सर जो विक्टिम कंपनसेशन का है, क्योंकि आज नगर उटारी कोर्ट का उद्घाटन था, तो उद्घाटन के समय में हम लोगों ने सोचा कि कुछ विक्टिम कंपनसेशन जो इस एरिया का है उनको हम लोग बुला के आज डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करेंगे। तो क्योंकि सर फिजिकली यहाँ नहीं है, इसलिए सर से मैं इजाज़त लूँगा कि सर की ओर से हम उनको हैंडओवर करें सर के सामने। सर 5 चेक है, 4-5 मिनट लगेगा हुजूर। जी एफ माय लॉर्ड। हाँ माय लॉर्ड, ठीक है मैडम।
सोनी कुमारी नगर उतारी केस नंबर 89/2019। सोनी कुमारी सोनी कुमारी
ठीक है
नगर उतारी
देते जाएंगे सर के पास आइए ना
2019।
एक एक करके। एक आदमी सोनी कुमारी वाले किसका है आप लेके जाइए। सोनी कुमारी का ही है ना, रुकिए।
थैंक यू। चलिए
फूल कुमारी है, उसके बाद सुषमा है। फूल कुमारी के बाद सुषमा।
चलिए चलो इसको दिख रहा है कि नहीं? 12,500। वेरी गुड। ये डीसी है 12,500। चलो चलिए किसी और ऑडियो
जी लॉर्डशिप। हेलो।
उसको फोन पे ही करना होगा बात आपको, वो बाकी सुने इसलिए।
वेरी क्लियर। जी लॉर्डशिप। जी लॉर्डशिप। यहाँ का प्रोग्राम जी 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 प्रणाम मैडम, प्रणाम मैडम, थैंक यू मैडम।
मेरा प्रोग्राम जो किया था, मैं बच्चों से आग्रह करता हूँ कि आप आएँ। आपके जो कट ऑफ पर किए थे सॉन्ग, वो भी आप करो।
अच्छा।
प्रिंट एवं इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया के सभी बंधुगण, साथ ही जिले विशेष करके श्री बंशीधर नगर अनुमंडल के विभिन्न क्षेत्रों से आए हुए हमारे भाई एवं बहनों, आज इस अनुमंडल स्तरीय न्यायालय के उद्घाटन में हम लोग यहाँ पर उपस्थित हैं। अत्यंत ही महत्वपूर्ण दिन है ये इस अनुमंडल के सभी लोगों के लिए। मैं कहूँगा कि एक ऐतिहासिक दिन है। मैं इस ऐतिहासिक दिन पे आप जो यहाँ जितने लोग उपस्थित हैं उनको बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूँ। किसी भी कल्याणकारी राज्य, वेलफेयर स्टेट में शासन प्रशासन के द्वारा जो कुछ भी किया जाता है वह पब्लिक जनता को केंद्र बिंदु में रखकर किया जाता है। आप लोगों ने देखा होगा समय समय पर सरकार आपके द्वार, प्रशासन आपके द्वार जैसे कार्यक्रम किए जाते रहे हैं, जिसमें प्रशासनिक पदाधिकारी आपके द्वार पर पहुंचकर जो योजनाएं होती है उनका लाभ पहुंचाने का कार्य करते हैं। परंतु वेलफेयर स्टेट का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है वो सही अर्थों में तभी साकार हो सकता है जबकि प्रशासन और सरकार आपके द्वार के साथ साथ न्याय आपके द्वार भी पहुंचे। और आज इस अनुमंडल स्तर पर न्यायालय का उद्घाटन, और वो भी देश के न्यायिक व्यवस्था के सर्वोच्च पद पर जो बैठे हुए हैं उनके कर कमलों के द्वारा हुआ है। यह निश्चित रूप से हम लोग के लिए एक अच्छा समय है। यहाँ के सभी लोग, श्री बंशीधर नगर अनुमंडल के सभी लोग काफ़ी बेसब्री से इस न्यायालय के उद्घाटन का इंतजार कर रहे थे। जहाँ तक ये भवन, मुझे कल जानकारी हुई, करीब 2014 में ही ये बनकर तैयार था। तो आप लोग एक लंबे समय से इसके क्रियाशील होने का इंतजार कर रहे होंगे। मैं भी यहाँ पर करीब 1 वर्ष से पदस्थापित हूँ और पिछले साल अभी ऑनरेबल जस्टिस जो जोनल जज हमारे हैं उनको आप लोगों ने सुना। वो आखिरी साल यहाँ पर आए थे। इसी भवन में तत्कालीन पीडीजे साहब और तत्कालीन डीसी साहब के साथ उन्होंने विचार विमर्श किया था। बार के भी काफ़ी सदस्य वहाँ पर उपस्थित थे। पीडीजे साहब भी बदल गए, डीसी साहब भी बदल गए, मैं वहीं पर हूँ। शायद ये हमारा और वर्तमान डीसी साहब और पीडीजे साहब का सौभाग्य है कि इस क्षेत्र के लिए जो एक ऐतिहासिक पल है, उस ऐतिहासिक पल का साक्षी बनने का हम सभी को एक अवसर प्राप्त हो रहा है। मैं एक बार फिर से आप सभी को बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूँ। आशा ही नहीं, पूर्ण विश्वास मुझे है कि त्वरित न्याय और सुलभ न्याय का जो एक सपना है वो इस न्यायालय के कार्यशील होने के बाद निश्चित रूप से साकार होगा। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।
धन्यवाद सर। आपने सही कहा कि शीघ्र और त्वरित न्याय का मार्ग प्रशस्त हुआ है। और एक बात और आपने उल्लेखनीय बात यहाँ से रखने का काम किया कि जब चर्चा हो रही थी कि ये खुले तो 2 पदाधिकारी नहीं हैं, हम हैं, तो कहीं न कहीं से आपको भी आज का यह जो उद्घाटन समारोह का आयोजन हुआ उसमें आपकी भी कहीं न कहीं किसी रूप में भूमिका रही थी। मैं आपको हृदय से धन्यवाद देता हूँ, आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ सर। मैं आग्रह करता हूँ अपने ज़िले के उपायुक्त सह उपाध्यक्ष जिला विधिक सेवा प्राधिकार गढ़वा श्री रमेश घोलप जी से, आप IAS ऑफिसर होने के बावजूद भी न्यायपालिका के जितने भी कार्य हैं उसमें आपकी महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका रहती है सर।
आज यहाँ पर गढ़वा जिले के नगर उटारी अनुमंडल के सब डिविजनल कोर्ट के ऑनलाइन इनागुरेशन कार्यक्रम जिनके कर कमलों से संपन्न हुआ, वो ऑनरेबल मिस्टर जस्टिस एनवी रमन्ना, द चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया, और जिनके प्रेजेंस में ये आज का कार्यक्रम संपन्न हुआ, वो ऑनरेबल मिस्टर जस्टिस डॉक्टर रवि रंजन, चीफ जस्टिस हाई कोर्ट ऑफ झारखंड, कुछ देर पहले जिनके ब्लेसिंग्स हम लोगों ने विजुअल माध्यम से सुने और जिनके प्रेजेंस में, जिनकी गरिमा में उपस्थिति में ये समारोह संपन्न हुआ, वो ऑनरेबल मिस्टर जस्टिस रत्नाकर भेंगरा, जज हाई कोर्ट ऑफ झारखंड एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव जज गढ़वा जजशिप, इनको और जो भी विजुअल माध्यम से इस प्रोग्राम में जुड़े थे उन सभी को क्योंकि ये गढ़वा वासियों के लिए, नगर उटारी वासियों के लिए काफ़ी सौभाग्य का दिन है। तो हम सबों की तरफ से मैं सबसे पहले उन सबको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ। इस प्रोग्राम के लिए अभी मंच पर उपस्थित जिले के आदरणीय पीडीजे महोदय, पुलिस अधीक्षक साहब, कमांडेंट साहब, सिविल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के, जुडिशरी के सभी सम्मानित लोग, बार के, गढ़वा के प्रेसिडेंट, नगर उटारी के प्रेसिडेंट, सभी सम्मानित अधिवक्तागण, सभी आम जन, प्रिंट, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक, सोशल मीडिया के सभी प्रतिनिधि, आप सभी को मैं धन्यवाद देता हूं कि आपने काफ़ी संयम के साथ सुबह से इस प्रोग्राम में अपनी गरिमामय उपस्थिति दर्ज कराई है। और ये दिन कितना महत्वपूर्ण है, यहाँ के लिए लोग कितने इस दिन का इंतज़ार कर रहे थे, इसका एहसास पिछले 2-4 दिनों से हम हर पल महसूस कर रहे हैं। सुबह से भी जब यहाँ पे है, कई सारे लोगों के चेहरे पे वो खुशी हम लोग देख सकते हैं कि कई सालों से जिस क्षण का इंतज़ार नगर उटारी वासियों को था, वो पल आज आया है। और वो भी देश के सर्वोच्च न्यायालय के चीफ जस्टिस महोदय के द्वारा संपन्न हुआ। ये क्षण जो है, ये इस नगर उटारी अनुमंडल, इस गढ़वा जिले के लोगों के जहन में आने वाले कई सदियों तक निश्चित तौर पे रहेगा। यहाँ पे 2014-2015 में ये बिल्डिंग कंप्लीट हुआ, उसके बाद कुछ कारणों से इसका उद्घाटन ये क्रियाशील नहीं हो पा रहा था। आज वो दिन आया है और इसकी महत्ता हम लोग इस बात से समझ सकते हैं कि मैं पीडीजे महोदय से पूछ रहा था तो उन्होंने बताया कि लगभग 26,000 में से 9,200 केसेस इस अनुमंडल से रिलेटेड है। हालांकि झगड़े नहीं होने चाहिए, केसेस नहीं होने चाहिए, उससे हम लोगों का, पुलिस अधीक्षक साहब का काम बढ़ता है। लेकिन एक बार हो गए तो उसको सॉल्व करने के लिए लोगों को जो तकलीफ होती है, क्योंकि कई बार झगड़ों में ज़रूरी नहीं है कि दोनों पक्ष झगड़ा करना चाहते थे। अगर किसी ने झगड़ा किया है, गलत काम किया है, तो जो पीड़ित है उसको न्याय जल्द मिलने की और कम से कम तकलीफ पहुंचकर मिलने की अपेक्षा होती है, जिसमें ये काफ़ी महत्वपूर्ण होगा ये सब डिविजनल कोर्ट। क्योंकि गढ़वा जिले से मुझे लगता है नगर उटारी अनुमंडल के जो सबसे दूर का गांव है, लगभग मुझे बताया गया है कि 75-80 किलोमीटर के आसपास की दूरी है। तो उस गांव का कोई व्यक्ति अगर अपनी केस लड़ने के लिए गढ़वा जाना उसको पड़ता था, तो आज वो उसका निराकरण यहाँ पे हो पाएगा। तो मैं पुनः एक बार आप सब लोगों को बधाई देता हूँ और धन्यवाद उन लोगों को देता हूँ क्योंकि 2014-15 की बिल्डिंग, उस बिल्डिंग के प्लान बनने से लेके उस यहाँ पे बिल्डिंग बनना चाहिए, वहाँ से लेके उसके सैंक्शन, अप्रूवल, मॉनिटरिंग, इसमें जिन जिन तत्कालीन न्यायिक व्यवस्था के जो भी पदाधिकारी होंगे, तत्कालीन सिविल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के जो लोग होंगे और सबसे महत्वपूर्ण जो जनप्रतिनिधि लोग होंगे जिन्होंने काफ़ी लग भिड़ के ये यहाँ पे अनुमंडल न्यायालय स्वीकृत होना चाहिए इसके लिए प्रयास किए होंगे, उन सबको हम लोग आज के इस दिन के अवसर पे हम लोग याद करते हैं, उनको धन्यवाद देते हैं। और इस प्रोग्राम को भी पीडीजे महोदय के मार्गदर्शन में सक्सेसफुल उसका आयोजन कराने के लिए जिन सब लोगों ने प्रयास किया है, जुडिशरी के पदाधिकारीगण, हमारे ज़िले के भी डीडीसी साहब होंगे, चाहे कार्यपालक अभियंता हो, उनकी टीम हो, यहाँ के बार एसोसिएशन के लोग हो, आप सभी लोगों को मैं तहे दिल से धन्यवाद देता हूँ। ये आप सब लोगों की बदौलत आज ये इतना महत्वपूर्ण पल इतने अच्छी तरीके से हम लोग सेलिब्रेट कर पाए हैं। पुनः एक बार कुछ अभी भी यहाँ के इस बिल्डिंग को लेके, इस कैंपस को लेके, अभी भी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को लेके कुछ एक्सपेक्टेशंस ज़रूर होगी आप लोगों की। सरकार को इस संबंध में पत्राचार करके फॉलोअप करके निश्चित तौर पे वहाँ जो भी यहाँ अभी भी अपेक्षाएं हैं उसको पूरा करने के लिए ज़िला प्रशासन के प्रमुख होने के नाते मैं प्रयास करूंगा, यही आपको कहता हूं। पुनः एक बार आप सब लोगों को हार्दिक बधाई देते हुए मैं अपनी वाणी को विराम देता हूं। जय हिंद, जय झारखंड।
धन्यवाद सर। अब मैं जिन्हें आमंत्रित करने जा रहा हूं, मैं चाहूँगा कि पहले उनके स्वागत में जोरदार ताली बजे। अब मैं मंचासीन अपने माननीय प्रधान जिला एवं सत्र न्यायाधीश सह अध्यक्ष जिला विधिक सेवा प्राधिकार गढ़वा, जिनके अथक परिश्रम का परिणाम है कि हम सब आज इस सुखद क्षण के साक्षी बने हैं। तो जिन्होंने उच्च न्यायालय से ऐसा तारतम्य, ऐसा ताना बुना कि ये जो एक कई वर्षों की जो लोगों की इच्छा थी कि नगर उटारी न्याय मंडल का गठन हो, सर आपने भगीरथ प्रयास करके और शेड्यूल टाइम में एकदम टाइम फ्रेम करके सारे काम का मॉनिटरिंग अपने से करते हुए न्यायालय कार्य करने के बावजूद भी नगर उटारी आना, एक एक चीज़ को अपने नज़रों से देख कर और उसके बाद हाई कोर्ट को रिपोर्ट करना, ये बहुत बड़ी बात है। और ये बात ये साबित करती है कि जो नालसा का, झालसा का, डालसा का जो सिद्धांत है, जो हमारी उच्च न्यायालय न्यायपालिका न्याय व्यवस्था चाहती है, आप उस पर पूरा खरा उतरते हुए सस्ता, सुलभ और शीघ्र न्याय देने की जो परिकल्पना रही है, उसको साकार करने में अपनी महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाई है। मैं पूरे आदर और सम्मान के साथ सर आपको मंच पर माइक पे बुलाता हूं कि आप अपने आशीर्वचन से हमें अनुग्रहित करने की कृपा करें सर।
माननीय उपायुक्त महोदय, पुलिस अधीक्षक महोदय, कमांडेंट सीआरपीएफ, गढ़वा बार एसोसिएशन के अध्यक्ष, नगर उटारी अनुमंडलीय बार एसोसिएशन के अध्यक्ष, डीडीसी गढ़वा, एसडीएम नगर उटारी आलोक जी, डीएफओ साहब हमारे साउथ नॉर्थ दोनों उपस्थित हैं, डीपीओ साहब भी उपस्थित हैं, काफ़ी मेहनत की है प्रोग्राम के लिए, और यहाँ उपस्थित बार के सदस्यगण हमारे जिला अधिवक्ता संघ एवं नगर उटारी अधिवक्ता संघ के, तथा नगर उटारी के आम जनता, और जहाँ मैं देख रहा हूँ कि कुछ समाज सेवक हमारे शारदा महेश जी उपस्थित हैं, राजेश जी उपस्थित हैं, और भी बहुत लोग उपस्थित हैं। तो आज वो घड़ी आ ही गई जिसका हमें इंतजार था, और प्रयास तो आप लोगों ने किया है। मैंने तो कुछ भी नहीं किया, मैं तो दिसंबर में यहाँ आके ज्वाइन किया, और आपने जो फीडबैक दिया उसके आधार पर हमने माननीय उच्च न्यायालय को रिपोर्ट बना के भेजा था, जिस पर वहाँ की टीम आई, यहाँ सर्वे की। यहाँ के अधिवक्ताओं का निवेदन था कि सर किसी भी तरह कोर्ट शुरू कर दिया जाए, बाकी चीज़ बाद में डेवलप हो जाएगा। और मैं खुद भी इस सिद्धांत से एग्री करता हूँ कि संपूर्ण फैसिलिटी जब हमको मिल जाए तब हम किसी चीज़ की शुरुआत करें। ऐसा जनरली होता नहीं। हम शुरुआत तो करें और अपनी काबिलियत से मंजिल खट तय करें। सब कुछ बना बनाया मिल जाए अगर, तो कोई भी मंजिल तक पहुंच सकता है। तारीफ उनकी ही करना चाहिए जो रास्ता खुद बना के आगे बढ़ते हैं। और नगर उठारी के बार के मेंबरों से मेरा निवेदन है कि एक प्लेटफॉर्म आपको दे दिया गया, सब डिविजनल कोर्ट आपके सामने खोल दिया गया, माननीय न्यायमूर्ति ने इनका उद्घाटन किया। इसको चलाना कैसे है ये आपके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है। डे टू डे की जो वर्किंग होगी ये आपके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है कि आप इस न्यायालय को चलाइएगा कैसे। क्योंकि मैंने पहले भी आपको पॉइंट आउट किया है, आप खुद भी हैं कि न्यायालय, नगर उटारी न्यायालय और भी जो न्यायालयों का उद्घाटन हुआ है उसकी तुलना में यहाँ सुविधाएं बहुत कम हैं। मगर माननीय उच्च न्यायालय का हम धन्यवाद करना चाहते हैं इस मामले में कि इतनी कम सुविधा होने के बाद भी, जनरली इतनी कम सुविधाओं पर न्यायालय का उद्घाटन नहीं होता है, लेकिन इसके बाद भी उन्होंने हमारे ऊपर, आपके ऊपर जो विश्वास दिखाया और इस न्यायालय का उद्घाटन किया है, तो हमें भी दिखाना है कि उन्होंने जो विश्वास हमारे ऊपर किया है उस पर हम पीछे नहीं हटेंगे। माननीय उच्च न्यायालय ने अभी 3 न्यायाधीश की यहाँ पदस्थापना की है। यहाँ सैंक्शन पोस्ट 7 है, 7 सैंक्शन पोस्ट है, और जिन न्यायाधीशों की पोस्टिंग यहाँ की गई है, कर्तव्यनिष्ठ, मेहनती और इस ढंग की परिस्थिति में काम करने में पारंगत न्यायाधीश को यहाँ भेजा गया है। मनोज कुमार त्रिपाठी जी बैठे हुए हैं, जो यहाँ जिला जज एवं अपर सत्र न्यायाधीश के पद पर आए हुए हैं, मेरे बैचमेट हैं। मैं इनको अच्छी तरह से जानता हूँ कि इनकी काबिलियत क्या है। आप थोड़ा सा सहयोग करेंगे, ये आपके साथ दौड़ेंगे, सिर्फ चलेंगे नहीं, ये दौड़ेंगे आपके साथ, लेकिन आपको थोड़ा सहयोग करना होगा। हमारे सब जज 1 साहब आए हुए हैं, अरविंद कच्छप जी, यंग एनर्जेटिक ऑफिसर हैं हमारे, जहाँ भी रहते हैं बहुत अच्छे ढंग से। अरविंद जी थोड़ा सा आप दिखा दें, है ना, लोग आपको देख भी लें, आपको यहाँ कोट करना है। जुडिशियल मजिस्ट्रेट के रूप में अमित खन्ना जी का पोस्टिंग हुआ है, और अमित खन्ना जी गढ़वा में अभी जुडिशियल मजिस्ट्रेट थे ही ये। इसके अलावा ये 2020 बैच के मजिस्ट्रेट हैं, जिनकी पूरी ट्रेनिंग मैंने ही दी है, इसलिए मैं भली भांति जानता हूँ कि इनकी काबिलियत क्या है। तो ये तीनों न्यायाधीश, अभी स्ट्रेंथ कम है, काम ज़्यादा है। अभी वर्तमान में हम 7,800 केस ट्रांसफ़र किए हैं, सारे रिकॉर्ड नगर उटारी में आ चुके हैं, और डे टू डे हियरिंग अब यहाँ पूरी हो जाएगी। चूँकि केस ज़्यादा है, न्यायाधीश सिर्फ 3 ही हैं, थोड़ा सा सब्र रखना होगा, और इसके बाद हम लोग इस कोर्ट को अच्छे से चला के ले जाएंगे। नगर उटारी कोर्ट के बारे में या कहीं भी सब डिविजनल कोर्ट के बारे में मेरा ये मानना है कि किसी आदमी को न्याय के लिए बहुत दूर भटकना नहीं पड़े, वरना जो सामाजिक न्याय की बात हम करते हैं, सामाजिक न्याय हमारा अधूरा तब भी रह जाएगा जब लोग न्यायालय को अप्रोच नहीं कर सकेंगे। इसलिए जरूरी है कि हम उस जगह पर जाएं, और कम से कम इतनी दूरी तक हम जाएं कि लोग हमको अप्रोच कर सकें, लोग मेरे पास, न्यायालय के पास आ सकें और अपनी फरियाद बता सकें। जब हमारे पास कोई फरियादी नहीं आएगा तो हम न्याय किसको देंगे? तो कम से कम हमें यह व्यवस्था सुनिश्चित करनी होगी इस समाज में भी कि हर वो व्यक्ति जिनके अधिकारों का हनन होता है, हर वो व्यक्ति जिसको न्याय की जरूरत है, और हर वो व्यक्ति जो न्याय के लिए हमें पुकारता है, उस तक हमें पहुंचना होगा और उनको न्याय देना होगा। ये हमारी जिम्मेदारी है, और यही भारतीय संविधान हमें सिखाता है। और इसके लिए अनुमंडलीय न्यायालय का गठन बहुत ही आवश्यक था, बहुत ही जरूरी था, क्योंकि गढ़वा जैसे सुदूर क्षेत्र में, जहाँ यातायात के साधन नहीं हैं, जहाँ लोगों को आने जाने में बहुत कठिनाई होती है, वहाँ इस न्यायालय के गठन होने से हमारे केतार से लेकर सोन नदी के बॉर्डर तक, इधर यूपी के बॉर्डर तक, और धुरकी में जाकर छत्तीसगढ़ के बॉर्डर तक जो लोग रहते हैं, उन्हें न्यायालय तक न्याय प्राप्त करने में आसानी प्राप्त होगी, आपका समय बचेगा और आप हमारे तक जल्द से जल्द पहुंच पाएंगे। इसके लिए हम पुनः माननीय उच्च न्यायालय और माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालय का धन्यवाद करते हैं, जिन्होंने आज ऑनलाइन अनुमंडलीय न्यायालय का उद्घाटन किया। इसके अलावा एक अपील आप लोग से मैं करना भी चाहूँगा कि न्यायालय में हम कहते हैं कि हम हर आदमी के अधिकारों की रक्षा के लिए यहाँ हैं। जब पूरे गढ़वा जिला में हम ये बात कहते हैं कि हर आदमी के अधिकारों की रक्षा के लिए हम गारंटी लेते हैं, हर उस आदमी के आंसू को पोंछने की हम गारंटी लेते हैं जिसके साथ किसी भी प्रकार का प्रताड़ना हुआ, तो उस हम में हमारे साथ हमारे डीसी साहब, हमारे एसपी साहब और वो सभी गढ़वा जिले के अधिकारी और पदाधिकारी जो आपके सुख दुख में और आपके काम करने के लिए यहाँ पदस्थ हैं, वो सभी समाहित होते हैं। सभी के साथ मिलके और सभी के प्रयास से ही हम न्याय व्यवस्था को किसी भी समाज में सुचारू रूप से चला सकते हैं। इसलिए सिर्फ न्यायपालिका के भरोसे अगर ये हो कि हम न्याय व्यवस्था को चलाने की जिम्मेदारी सिर्फ न्यायपालिका की है, तो ये ऐसी अवधारणा नहीं होनी चाहिए। हम सब मिल के न्यायपालिका को चलाते हैं और हम सब मिल के आपके अधिकारों की रक्षा की गारंटी देते हैं। पब्लिक को सिर्फ अधिकारों के प्रति ही जागरूक करना हमारा कर्तव्य नहीं है। हम ये पब्लिक को बताना भी चाहते हैं और पब्लिक को ये दिखाना भी चाहते हैं कि आप अपने कर्तव्यों का पालन पहले करें, आप अपने कर्तव्यों को सही ढंग से निष्पादन करें, तब आपके अधिकारों की बात हम सुनते हैं, तब आपके अधिकारों के लिए हम लड़ते हैं। लेकिन अगर आप अपने कर्तव्य का पालन नहीं करते, आप अपने कर्तव्य से विमुख रहते हैं, तो आपको अधिकार मांगने का भी कोई हक न्यायालय के सामने नहीं होता है। इस बात का हमेशा ध्यान रखें। और कर्तव्य पालन में सबसे जरूरी चीज़ है डिसिप्लिन, सबसे जरूरी चीज़ होता है अनुशासन। अगर हम अपना काम सही ढंग से, अनुशासित ढंग से करें तो बहुत सारी समस्या समाज में पैदा ही नहीं होगी। और अनुशासन का एक उदाहरण मैं देना चाहूँगा। आज जो हमारा अनुमंडलीय कार्यालय उद्घाटन समारोह था, उसमें आप लोग सभी लोग उपस्थित हैं, इतनी भीड़ उपस्थित है, लेकिन इस पूरे कार्यक्रम का संचालन बिना किसी व्यवधान के आप लोग के प्रयास से सफलतापूर्वक संपन्न हो गया। इसे ही डिसिप्लिन कहते हैं और यही डिसिप्लिन की उम्मीद हम आम जनता से करते हैं। इसके अलावा मैं एक बात और कहना चाहूँगा आप लोगों से कि माननीय उच्च न्यायालय और माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालय द्वारा न्याय के जो सिद्धांत अधिरोपित किए गए हैं, उनके आधार पर ही हम न्यायालय में काम करते हैं और उन्हीं के नियम कायदों के तहत हमारा अपना काम होता है। इसके लिए थोड़ा बहुत अगर किसी के काम में विलम्ब हो जाता है, कभी थोड़ा सा आप लोगों को लगे, तो बहुत ज़्यादा परेशान होने की ज़रूरत नहीं है। आप न्यायालय का सहयोग करिएगा, आपका काम हो जाएगा। स्टाफ की संख्या हमारे पास कम है, न्यायाधीश की संख्या कम है। आप सभी के सहयोग से हम अनुमंडलीय कार्यालय को, मैं ये बार बार रिपीट इसलिए कर रहा हूँ कि कल के दिन हमको इसको चलाना है, इसलिए मैं बार बार आपसे अनुरोध करता हूँ कि आप हमारे साथ थोड़ा मिल के चलें। 6 महीने के बाद सारी स्थितियाँ सुधर जाएंगी। और आप लोग सभी यहाँ उपस्थित हुए, ध्यानपूर्वक हम लोगों को सुना और इस विशेष कार्यक्रम में आप सभी शामिल हुए, इसलिए आप सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद सर। नगर उटारी अनुमंडलीय बार एसोसिएशन की तरफ से हमारे मंचासीन अतिथियों को कुछ मोमेंटो दिए जाने हैं। मैं आग्रह करता हूं प्रेसिडेंट नगर उटारी श्री ब्रजेश कुमार चौबे जी से कि आप मोमेंटो अपने पीडीए सर को राजेश पांडे जी, आप अपने ज़िले के उपायुक्त महोदय को मोमेंटो दें। राजेश पांडे। नगर उटारी बार एसोसिएशन के सेक्रेटरी उदय प्रताप सिंह जी, आप हमारे एसपी सर को मोमेंटो देंगे। उदय प्रताप सिंह जी, आप सेक्रेटरी हैं नगर उटारी अनुमंडलीय बार एसोसिएशन के, आप एसपी सर को मोमेंटो देकर सम्मानित करें। हंसेश्वर पांडे, वरिष्ठ अधिवक्ता, मैं आपसे आग्रह करता हूं कि आप हमारे सीआरपीएफ के कमांडेंट सर हैं, आप उन्हें मोमेंटो देकर अनुग्रहित करें। श्री अभय चौबे, आप हमारे गौतम कृष्ण सिन्हा डिस्ट्रिक्ट बार एसोसिएशन गढ़वा के प्रेसिडेंट को मोमेंटो दें। आज हमारा यह उद्घाटन सत्र धीरे धीरे समापन की ओर अग्रसर है। अब मैं वरिष्ठ अधिवक्ता वीरेंद्र कुमार मिश्र जी से आग्रह करता हूं, नगर उटारी, वीरेंद्र कुमार मिश्र, नगर उटारी, कि आप आएँ और हमारे आगत समागत अतिथियों का को धन्यवाद ज्ञापित करें। श्री वीरेंद्र कुमार मिश्र जी।
बाबा श्री बंशीधर जी की असीम कृपा से आज भारतवर्ष के माननीय मुख्य न्यायाधीश न्यायमूर्ति एन.वी. रमन्ना के द्वारा अनुमंडलीय व्यवहार न्यायालय नगर उटारी के ऑनलाइन उद्घाटन समारोह के शुभ अवसर पर उपस्थित मंचासीन सभी माननीय पदाधिकारीगण, अधिवक्ता संघ गढ़वा एवं नगर उटारी के अध्यक्ष महोदय, सम्मानित अतिथिगण एवं नगर उटारी की जनता, अधिवक्ता संघ नगर उटारी हार्दिक धन्यवाद ज्ञापित करता है। इस शुभ अवसर पर झारखंड उच्च न्यायालय के मुख्य न्यायाधीश माननीय न्यायमूर्ति डॉक्टर रवि रंजन एवं प्रशासकीय न्यायाधीश माननीय न्यायमूर्ति रत्नाकर भेंगरा जी के प्रयास से यह शुभ अवसर जो हम लोगों को प्राप्त हुआ, उसके लिए उन्हें बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। इस शुभ अवसर के लिए महत्वपूर्ण योगदान एवं मार्गदर्शन के लिए हमारे गढ़वा जिला के प्रधान जिला एवं सत्र न्यायाधीश श्री राजेश शरण जी को अधिवक्ता संघ नगर उटारी हार्दिक धन्यवाद ज्ञापित करता है। गढ़वा जिले के उपायुक्त श्री रमेश घोलप एवं सीआरपीएफ कमांडेंट श्री ए.के. झा साहब एवं पुलिस अधीक्षक श्री अंजनी कुमार झा एवं गढ़वा जिला के सभी न्यायिक एवं कार्यपालक पदाधिकारी, पत्रकार बंधु, सुरक्षाकर्मी का अनुमंडलीय न्यायालय की स्थापना में सहयोग एवं अपने गरिमा में उपस्थिति देने के लिए अधिवक्ता संघ नगर उटारी धन्यवाद देता है। इस शुभ अवसर के साक्षी एवं मार्गदर्शक जिनके देखरेख एवं अथक प्रयास से इस पूरे कार्यक्रम को सकुशल संपन्न किया गया, इसके लिए अनुमंडल पदाधिकारी श्री आलोक कुमार, अनुमंडल पुलिस पदाधिकारी महोदय एवं कार्यक्रम की शोभा बढ़ाने वाले छात्र छात्राएं एवं शिक्षकों को हम सभी अधिवक्ता हृदय से धन्यवाद ज्ञापित करते हैं। जय हिंद, जय झारखंड।
धन्यवाद सर। अब मैं अपने प्रधान जिला एवं सत्र न्यायाधीश से अध्यक्ष जिला विधिक सेवा पदाधिकारी सर से कार्यक्रम समापन करने की अनुमति चाहता हूँ सर। और इसके साथ ही नगर उटारी न्याय मंडल के उद्घाटन सत्र के समापन की घोषणा की जाती है। जय हिंद, जय भारत। एक महत्वपूर्ण सूचना है कि अभी नगर उटारी जो न्यायालय आज जिसका उद्घाटन हुआ, उसके न्यायालयीय कार्य अभी थोड़ी देर बाद से शुरू हो जाएंगे। अभी थोड़ी देर बाद से न्यायालय यहाँ कार्य करने लगेगा और जितने भी गढ़वा से गेस्ट आए हैं उनसे अनुरोध होगा, जो अधिवक्ता बंधु हैं, कि आप बार भवन में बैठेंगे, थोड़ा जलपान करके ही यहाँ से प्रस्थान करेंगे। मंचासीन अतिथियों से मेरा अनुरोध है कि जज साहब के चैम्बर के तरफ हल्की चाय की व्यवस्था है। मंचासीन अतिथिगण चाय लेकर